Hey everybody, Rob here at etrailer.Com, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Swagman Chinook 2-bike platform rack on our 2016 Nissan Rogue. Now our Chinook is going to allow us to carry up to 2 bikes to and from the trail, and it's going to alleviate that problem of having to cram your bikes in the back hatch, or for some shorter people like me, we're not going to have to worry about putting our bikes on top of the roof. Because I don't know about you, but lifting my bike up over my head seems to be a little nerve-wracking just because I don't want to scratch my roof. So having a hitch-mounted rack is going to be just a lot easier and definitely secure getting your bikes to the trail. But the problem comes in is once you get to the trail and you want to start riding, but you forgot something in the back. Well, I don't know about you, but I don't want to climb from the front all the way to the back seat, try to get in there, and I don't want to have to pull my bike rack out just to grab something from the back. Well, Swagman knew that that was going to be an issue, and they put a lever right here at the back of the mast. If we pull up on that lever, we can actually tilt our bike away, and that'll give us clearance to get inside of our hatch. We just open it up, then we have ample space to walk in between, grab what we need, and then we can close it up. Then we can just come back to our bike rack, grab it, rotate it up until we hear that click and it locks into place. Now our bikes are going to be held in 3 different places. We'll have a wheel cradle with some straps that are holding the front and rear tire, but then we're also going to have this frame hook in the middle. Now that frame hook is covered in a nice soft material, so we don't have to worry about our bikes being scratched or anything else. But let's go ahead and pull our bike off so we can get a closer look. You just come down to the straps down here. They'll have a little button on them. We can push the button and then start feeding the strap through to loosen them up. And we'll repeat that for the rear tire strap as well. Now I always like to loosen up the wheel straps first because that frame hook is going to be holding it nice and secure, so we don't have to worry about it leaning over, potentially falling into the other bike or our car. But then if we come to the frame hook itself, you want to make sure you have a firm grip on your bike, but we'll find the button on the frame hook, we'll push it in, and then it'll allow us to slide that hook up far enough so that we can get our bike off. We'll pull our bike off, then we can set it aside and take a closer look. Now one thing I really like about the rack is that it includes metal lock cores in each one of the frame hooks here. So we can put our bikes on and make sure they're going to be nice and secure and make sure we keep people honest. Now the straps here are going to be a ratchet style, so we just push them in. It won't allow them to come out, but also we have this rubber piece that's going to go right over our wheel, so we don't have to worry about the strap causing any damage to the wheel or the finish on it. Now whenever your bikes are not on the rack, maybe you're just driving around, you didn't take it out of your hitch, the mast here may interfere with your vision sometimes, but what's nice about it is we can fold it out of the way. Right here, just towards the passenger side, there's another lever, and if we lift that up, you can actually fold the mast down so it'll lay nice and flat on that platform there. Now all those little features make it really nice to get to the bike trail, but as you can see here, we're adding quite a bit of space to the back of our Rogue. So I would like to give you a few measurements so you know what's going on. If I measure from the very back of our bumper to the furthest point on our rack, which is going to be this outside cradle here, it's going to be right about 24.5 inches. Now at the closest point, it's going to be right at that lever, and that's going to be right about 7 inches away. So we have a decent amount of space here. But we may not always have that full 24.5 inches at the back of our Rogue. Maybe we need to pull in our garage, or maybe we just need to pull in a parking spot and we don't have that much room behind us. Well again, Swagman took that into account, and they know that you're not going to want to pull your bike rack every time you come home. So if we come back to that same lever we used to tilt it away, if we lift up on that lever, we can actually rotate the rack in, so it's going to sit really nice and tight against the body, but there is no contact being made. Now you can see with it folded up, it really did make quite a bit of difference here. But the furthest point did change, so now the furthest point of our rack is going to be right here at the back, and that's only going to be about 13 inches, so it did save us about a foot. Now ground clearance is going to be another thing you want to keep in mind. Whether we have a really steep driveway or if we go into a parking garage a lot, you want to make sure that you're not going to be bottoming out. So at the back of our rack, the lowest point here, it's going to be right about 15 inches, but that is going to depend on what hitch you have on your Rogue. But you can see that it does come straight out of the receiver tube and then slightly curve up. So we're not going to be losing any ground clearance. Now the Chinook is going to be a really versatile rack because it's going to work with both 1¼ inch hitches and the 2-inch hitches. And Swagman went ahead and included an anti-rattle bolt and lock so we can make sure that the rack is secure to our hitch, and when we're driving down the road we won't have any slop or play, and when I'm shaking it the whole car is actually moving because there's no play in the receiver tube. And that'll finish up your look at the Swagman Chinook 2-bike platform style rack on our 2016 Nissan Rogue.